Well, new overtime rules are coming from the Department of Labor in the new year. So what does it mean for you? It is the title of one of Gene Mark's recent articles for The Inquirer, and Gene joins me now to tell us more. It's so nice to see you.
Great to see you, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Yes. And let's talk a little bit about what's going down in 2023. What could happen and how likely is it to happen?
So, Eve, if you are an employer or if you're an employee of a business of any size, pretty much any size, you could be entitled to more overtime wages in 2023. The Department of Labor is now working on these rules. Most people are expecting them to happen sometime during next year. So right now, if this makes sense, if you're making like more than about $35,000, you're probably not entitled to any overtime if you're like over that limit. But if you're making under that, and you're not supervising anybody, and you're a salaried worker, you are entitled to overtime. That number is going to go up. It could go up to as high as $80,000, which means that in 2023, if you're making up to like $80,000 and you are, again, a salaried person, you're not supervising anybody, you might be entitled to overtime for any hours that you work over 40 hours. That's potential big bucks.
Yeah, that is big bucks. Now, what has to happen for this to actually go
come through and all that?
Yeah.
So the Department of Labor is right now reviewing the rules. They're going to send it out for comment, and then those comments are expected to happen sometime in the first half of 2023, and then we could see it happening again. The only caveat that I'll give you is that the Obama administration tried to do this back when there was an Obama administration. They tried to increase that wage limit to like $47,000 about, and there was all sorts of lawsuits about it, which kind of put it off. So it might not happen automatically, but I do think it will. And so I think it's an opportunity. If you're an employee, it's potential more wages for you. If you're an employer, you've got to start budgeting for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, great news if you get a boost in your paycheck for the employees, but I would imagine it could really hurt some businesses.
Yeah, it really could. So you have to budget for that, and you have to be, you have to be aware of it. The other thing is that you can't avoid it. I mean, people watch you, right? And they read stuff on the internet.
I hope so.
Yeah, you hope so. So they're going to be aware of this when it happens. So it's not like you can pretend that it's not happening if you're an employer, because your employees, if they are aware of this and they feel they're not getting the overtime wages, the Department of Labor will probably not come after you, but your employees will probably report you either to the state or to, the Federal Department of Labor, and that could create a lot of headaches if you're running a business.
So what else should they do now, Gene, to get ready? I know you were talking about making sure your bookkeeping is in order and people are getting paid correctly now, right?
Yeah. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you're completely in compliance with all the rules now, so that you don't have to like go back and face any kind of penalty. So again, the rule is the number's $35,568. That's an annual salary that somebody makes. It's general rule. And if somebody is making less than that and they're generally not supervising anybody and they're a salaried worker, they're entitled to overtime, time and a half for any hours over 40 hours. So make sure that you're in compliance with that now. And then you start looking at those employees that may be making up to $80,000 and thinking like, talking to your attorney or accountant and finding out if these guys might have to be, subject to overtime, and budgeting for that, because that's a potential issue. All the other stuff that's going on running a business in 2023, I'm sorry, Eve, it's just going to be another challenge that we're all going to have.
Yeah, I was going to say, what other things are you working on now for all the platforms that you write for in terms of 2023?
So there is, next year, I'm going to tell you, I've been writing a lot about labor, but I can tell you the biggest issue for a lot of businesses in 2023 is going to be interest rates, Eve.
Okay.
Different issue than employees, but I mean, interest rates now for a business are double digits, and they're going to keep going up in 2023 before they start coming down, and it's going to have a big impact on people getting business loans and working capital loans and all of that. So
a lot more budgeting.
You got employee challenges and you got financing challenges as well. It's going to be all the fun. That's why we make the big bucks.
Yeah,
business, right?
Yeah. They say it's so much fun.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's
so much fun.
Yeah, but you got to deal with all that. All right, we'll come back and chat with us about interest rates.
We'll talk about interest and financing.
All the fun.
Yep, we'll do
in
that
2020.
soon.
Happy New Year, almost.
You too.
So thanks for being here. You can read more about Gene's article. You can find links to all of his articles on genemarks.com, and we will be right back after this. Stay with us.